Okay, so hello again, everyone. So, out of everything I want to talk about, this is probably the heaviest thing on my heart to share. I do apologize for the wind. I'm trying to stay pretty low here, pretty much right beside a bunch of trees, try to cover myself from the wind, but there's a decent view here, so I'm just going to try to stay low. So, out of everything that's heavy on my heart to share, it's listen to God, not people. Okay. This is a mistake that people make. Now, hear me out before you come to a conclusion of, well, we're supposed to listen to people. Yes, we are. But bear with me. So, let me give you an example. Let's say I decide to. I think I actually used this example before, but it's a good example. Let's say I decide to go to a gathering, a group of, we'll say, I don't know, 30, 40 people. Could be 12, doesn't really matter. You know, the whole time everyone's talking, but I'm remaining completely quiet. I'm silent, I'm just listening, right? Now, if people ask me to share, I would probably respond something along the lines of, well, let everyone else share, and if I have anything to say at the end, I'll say something. And a lot of people, like, they'll have different thoughts, different opinions, like, oh, he's shy, or oh, maybe he's just not comfortable in groups, which is semi-true. I don't like crowds very much. Others will say I have the fear of man, right? Still, others will say that I just struggle with fear, but the reality is I'm being completely misunderstood because I'm just practicing to be slow to speak and quick to listen. I want to listen to people, right? See what they have to say. And once everyone has said everything they want to say, then I will say something. It's kind of like Jesus. Jesus would do this. So what he would do is he ended up asking his disciples first. The first thing he said is, who do people say that I am? And then they start saying everything, right? Like, well, some say you're Elijah. Others say you are a prophet. Still others say you're John the Baptist. All this other stuff. So after they exhaust all possibilities of what people say and what could be, it doesn't leave much room left. So at this point Jesus says, but what about you? Who do you say that I am? And then Simon Peter spoke and said, you are the Son of God. So in my mind, if Jesus were to ask, who do you say that I am? They would immediately avert to, well, some people are saying you're Elijah. Others say you're a prophet, all this stuff, right? So it would appear Jesus wanted them to speak everything that's in their heart, so their thoughts, first. Speak it all out to the point there's nothing left except clarity, because there's confusion, right? So that's one thought. The second one is, well, in all reality, if I listen to everyone speak and what's on their heart, and then I say something at the end, it can be much more helpful and profound because I've listened to everyone's concern before I state my thoughts or my opinion, right? So with that said, when it comes to something serious, I'll give you an example. Let's say a future spouse, and then the man or the woman says, "Could you pray and talk to God about me? Could you ask God about me?" Now, when somebody suggests this or asks this of somebody, I would recommend highly that you do that. You go and you talk to God about the person. Don't talk to people about the person, because, like I said, everyone has their own opinion, their own thoughts about the person, the individual, what they struggle with. Some will say good things, some will say bad things, but they may not truly know the person, right? They'll just say all kinds of stuff. Some will even bring up the past. And to me, the past is irrelevant. It's called the past for a reason. Everyone has a past. So I think we should really take things to God and speak to God first. Afterwards, maybe go to people for confirmation, right? Because I'll give you guys a few examples here that are very important. I have a friend, his name is Jason. Okay? He's a close dear friend of mine. I love him dearly. Jason will speak good things about me. He will say I am a man after God's own heart, that I search the scriptures, that I try not to move without God's consent. I try not to do things on my own strength. He'll say all kinds of good stuff about me, okay? But he's well, let's just put it this way, he's not church leadership, okay? And then if you go to pastors as an example, well, God tells me to go and speak to pastors and warn them against things they do, things they shouldn't do, with, of course, well, you're doing this and this right, but I have this against you, right? And God specifically tells me, go tell the pastors this, and I'm like, they're gonna get upset. And they do get upset. So pastors don't really like me too much. So if, let's say a woman went to a pastor, or other individuals possibly, not a lot of people will say a lot of good things about me. Like, if you think about Christ, I mean, geez, man, leadership like the Pharisees, teachers of the law, Sadducees, all this, they didn't have anything good to say about Jesus. They're all like, he's a false prophet, it's only by the prince of demons he drives out demons, all this other junk. Sad. So, I'm venting at this point, but I suppose what I'm trying to get at is ask God first, okay? Because God knows the heart of the people, right? And God will be very honest. He'll say good things, he'll say the things the people struggle with. So like if somebody were to ask God about me, God would probably say something along the lines of, he's compassionate, he's caring, he's gentle, he's not easily angered, he's very much like me in many ways, he tries to be like me, he loves me, he tries to put me first in all things, but he does, he ends up making mistakes from time to time, but he learns and he grows and he matures and he understands we can never stop growing, and he would say the good and the bad. He'd be honest about it, right? So anyhow, with that said, to conclude, because I always try to keep my videos under 10 minutes, please go to God first. In all things, ask him about it, his thoughts, whether that be a future spouse, whether that be your future in general, anything, go ask God first, okay? And it is ideal to listen to people. So if you're getting a lot of warnings, keep two thoughts in mind. One, they may not be true and people are just being people. Or two, it could be true, right? But again, people would be confirmation. So if God warned against somebody and then you hear warnings from other people, then I would take it seriously. But if God's saying good things, yet people are saying bad things, I would say, it's probably not true, because God said, this is my beloved son, whom I'm well pleased, while everybody else is not really pleased with Jesus. So I will leave it at that. Hope everyone's doing well, and I will post again soon. upload soon.